Hello friends, today I'm going to show you a Genki Chess Classic match which was played between Vishwanathan Anand and Magnus Carlsen in 2015. The reason I've chosen this match is because of the Dutch defense. I would like to show you how you can play with the Dutch defense, and in this game Magnus Carlsen was playing with black, and he has chosen the Dutch defense. So let's start. Vishwanath Anand started with d4, and now f5 is the reply. So f5 is basically Magnus Carlsen plays the Dutch defense against Vishwanathan Anand. Now in this game, g3 was played, and then knight to f6, bishop to g2, and now e6, c4, and now c6, knight to f3, and now d5. So friends, that's the Stonewall variation of the Dutch defense. The idea behind Dutch defense is white wants to castle here. On the other hand side, as Dutch defense is a very aggressive opening, and you can see the f file is already black is trying to open the f file. So when you castle, the rook will be on your f file, and this is where you start launching your attack from this point. But friends, before I move further with the game, I would like to show you there are two other variations available in the Dutch defense, that's classical and Leningrad Dutch. So, so from this position f5, if you first let me show you how you play with the classical Dutch, and then I will come on to the Leningrad as well. Both are very similar, but with the slight variations. Here, if you play with c4, and then black's response would be knight to f6, then g3. So of course you white wants to develop the light square bishop on g2. Here e6, and then bishop to g2, now bishop to e7, now knight to f3, and then both players castles. So friends, that's basically constitutes, and now you can play with d6, you can play with d6. So that's a classical Dutch. Here the idea behind is because you have closed this line, so the black light square bishop will also develop on b7. um, Now you see, at some point black would play bishop to g5, and where this is where you want to trade the dark square bishops and try to launch attack from the queen and the rook on to the white's king side. However however from this position, from g3, instead of playing g6, if black chooses to play g6 and then try to develop his bishop on g7 and then castle, so that constitutes the Leningrad Dutch system. However, let's go back to our game. So from this position, Magnus Carlsen chooses to play with the Dutch defense, and here at this position Vishwanathan Anand has castled the. Now bishop to d6 was played, and now b3. So white has a potential threat to play bishop to c1 to a3 diagonal, exchanging the dark square bishops. Yet the bishop on d6 is black's strong bishop, which also promises him attacking chances. Therefore black is well advised to keep it. So Magnus Carlsen played queen to e7, and now knight to e5. So knight comes into the into the center of it, and here at this position Magnus Carlsen has castled it. Friends, I'll show you one more line which Magnus Carlsen has played a few years ago. Instead of castling, he has an option to play b6 from this position. So where the game can continue, that c takes d5, c takes d5, now knight to c4. So of course you cannot capture it because your rook is hanging, and of course the threat is to capture the bishop and exchange it. But here Knight to c6 was played, so now this knight can be captured, but here knight would take knight takes d6, and that's a check where queen takes d6, and now you can continue with the game with a4 and queen to d7. So let's go back to our game. So after the castling, Vishwanathan Anand has played knight to d2 and now a5. So Magnus goes for an interesting concept. He marches his a pawn up the board and whites develop his bishop on b2. Now knight b to d7. So Magnus Carlsen also wants to get rid of this of a knight, because that knight is very well placed right in the center of the board, and of course you don't want to trade it with the bishop because you want to keep the advantage of the bishop pairs. So here at this position, queen to c2 was played, and now a4, and Vishwanath Anand has played knight to d knight d to f3. So even if he says he wants to keep his knight on to this e5 square, even you exchange it, another knight will come over, and it's a very good outpost for the knight. So here at this position, Carlsen also played knight to e4. So he also found a very interesting outpost for his knight, and now the game will continue with first e3 and now a3. So Magnus Carlsen is trying to attack onto the bishop, so of course bishop has to move. So bishop moves to c3, where knight takes e5, and now knight takes e5. So as I said earlier, Magnus Carlsen wants one of his knight on to this e5 square. Now bishop to d7, and now knight takes d7. So of course Magnus Carlsen has lost a bishop pair, where queen takes d7, and now c5. So Anand also tried to attack onto the bishop, but this bishop is very well placed onto this diagonal. So he moved his bishop to c7 and now b4. So white also is going to expand onto the queen side. So h5 from Magnus, and now bishop to e1. So Anand does not want to trade his bishop pair against the knight. So and that's very interesting, because bishop pairs will be helpful in the open games. And now e5, where d takes e5, bishop takes e5, and now rook to d1, and queen goes to e6. So f3, because white also wants to get rid of this powerful knight which is controlling the center of the board. So knight had to move, so knight moved to f6. Now bishop to h3. So why bishop to h3? Now this there's a pressure onto this pawn, so g6 was more or less forced, and now e4. So white is trying to break through the center, where d takes e4, and now f takes e4, and now bishop and now bishop to b2, and now e takes f5, where there's an attack onto the queen, also as an attack onto the g6 pawn. So now here queen takes a2. So now bishop to f2, because bishop to d4 would be the check, and then you may lose the queen. So that's why covering the check, and suddenly the black's a pawn becomes very dangerous. So that something needs to be taken care of this pawn. Now, so here at this position g5 was played. So Magnus Carlsen did not allow white to capture this pawn, but now rook f to e1, and queen comes back to f7. Rook to e6 from Vishwanathan Anand, and now knight goes to g4. G4, why? Because now white is want to exchange this bishop, but here at this moment Anand captured this knight, so bishop takes g4 where h takes g4, but now rook to g6 check. So king, there's only way, yeah, you can bring the bishop back, but then pawn push to f6 would be devastating. So queen king to h, oops sorry, queen king moves to h7, and now rook to d7. So friend, that's a very interesting move. It's a, yes, it's a rook sacrifice, but that gives black a very commanding position, a white very commanding position. So yes, queen takes d7, and now f6. So f6, why? Because now rook to g7 is coming. It will be a discovered check, and it will be game over in few minutes. So here at this position, Magnus Carlsen played queen to d1 check. Of course, Magnus Carlsen wanted to remove this queen from this diagonal. That's why this move has been played, where queen takes d1, and now king takes g6. Um, the little bit of sigh of a relief, but not for long, because now queen to d3 check, king goes to h6, and now h4, where g takes h3, uh, oops sorry, where g takes h3 is an impasse, and here at this position white has resigned. So friends, the reason of this resignation, although the black is the queen down, but it has a two powerful connected rooks, there is no immediate threat from the white onto black, and also uh, all of those options are coming, right? So at some point this bishop will also be exchanged from this bishop, and then those two pass pawns would become very lethal for the black. That is why the white has resigned. Friends, let me know if you like this video. Do give me your feedback. Till then, take care. Bye bye.